Yay. Welcome back to another video. Yeah, I'm saying in a real way. Yeah, I'm saying for y'all don't know who I am, Raubaka Rampa, you know what I'm saying, aka Rampa for real. You know what I'm saying? For real, in a real way. And today we're gonna be talking about, you know what I'm saying, how to seduce women. Right? How to really get women obsessed. You know what I'm saying? This is the realest game you can ever get on the fucking internet. I don't care, you know what I'm saying, how much money you got, right? You know what I'm saying? What level of, you know what I'm saying, of the, standard you are as a guy, right? It doesn't matter, bro. This is this game, you know what I'm saying, at its primal state, right? And we're gonna get into it, but there's two prerequisites before I get into it. First of all, right? You don't use this shit, you know what I'm saying, to for bad, right? Actually use it for good, guys, because this information is very sensitive information, very sacred information, you know what I'm saying, actually information that your father, right, your father should have actually taught you growing up, right? So I'm here to show you, you know what I'm saying, show you all the right way, right? Because buying flowers didn't work, right, on Valentine's Day. So like, first of all, right, we as men, right, we fall in love with how a woman looks, right? Fall in love with how she looks, and women, right, fall in love with how a man acts, right? Simple as that. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed from 100 years ago, 50 years ago, 200 years ago, 400, even fucking before the slavery times. It hasn't changed. This is just in our biology, James. Back to Adam and Eve, because that's why I like using Adam and Eve's story, because, you know what I'm saying, even back in the cave days, you know what I'm saying, like, this is how men and women attract and, you know what I'm saying, each other. It hasn't changed, bro. You know what I'm saying? That same level of, power that a woman has to attract thousands and thousands of men on Instagram by showing her booty, right? You know, her tits, right? You as a guy have that exact same strength, right? Exactly the same. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of guys, they misconceptualize it, you know what I'm saying? They really miss it, because it's like, they think it's the money, right? They think it's the height. They think it's how, you know what I'm saying, they look, right? What looks good on paper. But a lot of guys miss it. A lot of guys really don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I have my YouTube channel, to help you, my G, right? To actually help you to open up your eyes to see, like, okay, what is the truth, right? This is why I have my YouTube channel, right? To actually show y'all, James, okay, this is, you know what I'm saying, I've been doing this wrong, right? This is how I track this hand. If you want that hand, you know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get into it, right? Your lack of emotional competence, you know, will always win a woman's heart. Always. Alright? I swear to God. Right? Your masculine drive and your ambition is what gets a woman to say, I want that guy. I want him. You know what I'm saying? That's him. I want him. Right? That's what get a woman to say he's him. Right? You gotta actually be him for her to actually, you know what I'm saying, say that's my man. I want him. You know what I'm saying? In a real way, dog, right? A lot of guys, right, they miss this, because they actually think when a woman puts him in this category, right, of him, right, of that guy, of I want him, right, that my man, right, they think that they should actually raise that lack of emotional competence, and they raise it into matching her level, right? This thing they tell us it's love, you know what I'm saying? Fucking what? Romeo and Juliet, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of guys think actually they should, you know what I'm saying, take the emotions and actually match it, so it, you know what I'm saying, her love and affection raises for him, and this couldn't be further from the truth. You know what I'm saying? This could not be further from the truth, right? You gotta be, you know what I'm saying, what you feel, right? What you feel as a guy is irrelevant, bro. It's irrelevant. What you feel as a Jane is irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? There's actually a right way to do something and there's a wrong way to do something, right? There's a right way to do something and there's a wrong way. Just like when you wake up, you know what I'm saying, you have to go to the gym and you don't want to go to the gym, right? If you don't want to go to the gym, you're not gonna have six-pack abs, you know what I'm saying, and muscles and shit, right? Same thing comes to women. If you want to win, there's a way to do things to win and there's a way to do things to lose, right? There's a right and wrong. You gotta understand that, and you really gotta let that shit sink in, right? You gotta be decisive. You gotta be decisive, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta. All right, this is the first. So if you have a notebook, right? If you ain't got chicks, if you ain't got bitches, I think it's very important for you to actually start noting this shit, right? She can't hurt you, right? She can hurt you, right? And this gotta be your perspective. You gotta have this shit installed, downloaded. You know what I'm saying? This gotta be your new software, right? Your new lenses, right? This is how you know what I'm saying? This is your new perspective. She can't hurt you, right? You're naturally as a man. You're made to be stronger, right? Bigger, taller than a woman, right? She can't hurt you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have you know what I'm saying, the more vulnerable you get, you know what I'm saying? Like guys think, okay, just because physically they're bigger, emotionally, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't count. Bro, it counts emotionally as fucking well. It does. It actually does. Right? It actually does, bro. You know what I'm saying? The more vulnerable you get, you know what I'm saying, the less she actually loves you, bro. The less she loves you, you know what I'm saying? The more vulnerable you get, the more the less she loves you, bro. You gotta have this right. You gotta keep rational. You gotta have this rational thinking mindset, bro. You gotta think rational, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta actually think, what is this chick bringing to the table? You know what I'm saying? Her taste, you know what I'm saying? Her taste in her games, right? Should really just, you know what I'm saying, type shit, man. Like you really just go over your head, right? You don't want to be in the mindset, right, of thinking that she can actually move your center, right? No, you really should care so, what is the word? You don't even want to be in the mindset of, you know what I'm saying, thinking of she's trying to get you off center, right? She's trying to screw with you, right? You should really give so less. Like you should really not give a fuck, right? To even give any emotional energy to it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't wanna get mad and you know what I'm saying, be all reactive, right? You just wanna respond, right? And no emotion. Right? If she sees, right, that she can actually press your buttons, right, this is not attractive in the long run. If she sees she can do this, right, this right there, she can do this, right, this is this is not good, especially in the long run, because you know what I'm saying, if you keep on lagging, she's gonna keep on continue pressing that buttons, bro. This is how women are. I'm sorry, bro. This is just how these women are, right? You know what I'm saying? Women have a lot of attention, right? Women have a lot of attention, and she is looking for somebody, you know what I'm saying? Somebody, a G, right? A G at or above her level of attraction. You know what I'm saying? She's looking for a guy who actually has options as well. She's not looking for a guy who does not have options. Right? She's looking for someone, you know what I'm saying, who's at her standard or higher. And if you are higher, it's even better. Even better. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to ask these type of questions of how many guys, you know what I'm saying, how many guys are you talking to? Because really, you know what I'm saying, really when you start asking this question, this is really your insecurities coming out, right? And this is a weakness, James. I'm sorry, bro. I told you. I'm going to give y'all the truth. Blatant. You know what I'm saying? The raw truth, bro. You know what I'm saying? The cold ass truth, right? This shit your father should have taught you this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And this is just how it is. Like if you really want a woman in your life, you know what I'm saying, to love and respect you, like you gotta really understand these type of concepts, right? Questions like this, right? Of how many guys are you talking to, right? Really just futuristic things that are not in the moment, right? You caring about, what she did last weekend, and who is that guy you were talking to, this type of shit. This is insecurity, bro, and this really lowers her attraction. It really lowers her attraction, bro. um it's her job to try and fish for a guy, right? To fish for a guy, to know if he has options. She should be asking the one, you know what I'm saying, who is that girl you were talking to? That's her job, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you are really switching the roles, right? So now she's gonna wear the pants. You don't want her to wear the pants, right? If you want to get a woman to be obsessed with you, you want to be the one who's wearing the pants, my dog, right? And you have to stay rational, and you have to stay dominant 24/7. I couldn't emphasize on this more, bro. You gotta stay rational, you gotta stay dominant 24/7, my dog. You know what I'm saying? And another cold truth, right? Another cold truth, most women, right, have no, I'm talking about, they feel no remorse for your pain, my dog. They don't, bro. They don't. Oh my god, they don't, bro. Like, women give no sympathy for weak men. No sympathy, bro. No. Zilch. Zero. Like, ever seen those videos on TikTok of like those massive mirrors, and they just drop it and it just falls down and it shatters. Ting a ling a ling a ling ling ling. Yeah, that's what a woman would do with your heart if you're weak, right? And I don't know why women are like this. Maybe, I don't actually know 100% why. I obviously have my opinions and all that, but I'm not gonna cover it today because I don't want to make the video too long. But guys, women have no remorse for weak men. They don't. They don't, bro. And she will make sure she breaks your heart. You know what I'm saying? Especially if she knows it hurts. She's gonna take that knife, bro, and just You know what I'm saying? They have no remorse for your pain, dog. I'm sorry, bro. They just don't have. And that's just the first initial stage. That's just the first stage, right? You uh having the perspective, right? Having the perspective of she can't hurt you, right? You're a G, bro. You can't get hurt, right? You're unfazed. You gotta have that energy 24/7, right? 24/7 till the day I die, right? When she realizes that you are moved off center, right, and you can actually further engage with her, right, without wondering, you know what I'm saying, who else is doing it too, right? Because that's her job, right? This is gonna lead the two of you know what I'm saying, to have some type of bond, right? Where she thinks things, where she tells herself and she thinks things like, oh, he gets me, right? He's so cool. You know what I'm saying? He's super cool. He's so relaxed, right? He's not needy and trying to lock me down, right? This is good, guys. This is good, right? And I want you to understand, guys, when you're at this stage, you are playing to win, right? You're playing to fucking win. There's a right way to do something and there's a wrong way to do something, right? You're playing to win. Remember, your emotions are irrelevant. It's irrelevant. If you want to lock that chick down, your emotions are irrelevant, bro. There's a right way. It's either you win or lose, right? And you want to build, right? You want to build this bond, you know what I'm saying, with her without any commitment. Without any commitment of, you know what I'm saying, showing consistency, right? Through text messages, seeing her, frequently. You don't have any type of commitment with her, you know what I'm saying, but you want to still have that bond. That bond is good, right? But this, because when you can actually have this type of bond with a chick, right, and you're not committed to her, right, this automatically puts you in the top 5%, right? And the top 5%, there's a lot of guys, especially if she's a very attractive girl, there's still a lot of James, right? That's why you don't want to be you don't want to be committed, right? You want her to choose you at the end of the day, right? Not the other way around. You know what I'm saying? As her emotions, right, heightens, right, she gets in the, her emotional state pumps up, right? You want to stay, and you want to stay neutral, right? And you want to take things slow. You don't want to be in a rush. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be in a rush, my dog. You know what I'm saying? if she asks things like, where's this thing going, right? You want to look at her and be like, I ain't going nowhere, right? Let's just have fun right now. Where are you going? Right? I'm not planning to die anytime soon. Like, we can, you know what I'm saying? You want to be super cool. You want to be super relaxed, bro. Because this really shows that it shows really strength, bro. It's really, really strength. And it frames you as a G automatically. You can, because you're not needy. You're not needy for her love and affection and trying to, you know what I'm saying, in a real way. You know what I'm saying? You wanna be in the moment, right? And if you are able to stay in the present moment as a guy, right, this will always have her guessing your next move, right? If you can just stay in the moment as a G, right, this will always get her guessing what's your next move. You know what I'm saying? And you want this, bro, because this heightens her sensitivity, right? Her emotional state. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna ask questions like, okay, how should I work harder to try and, you know what I'm saying, lock him down, right? Should I kiss him more, right? Should I touch him more? Should I, whisper in his ear? You know what I'm saying? Just do shit that women do, right? And truly, women wanna be, they wanna be bad first. You know what I'm saying? They wanna be sexual and devious first. Let her, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving y'all guys game, bro. Like, seriously. You know what I'm saying? Your job, right? Your job as a gen, and I think I'm gonna make like a column, right? Put it wherever is space on the camera, right? Your job as a guy is, first of all, you wanna stay in the present moment, right? You wanna stay in the present moment. Secondly, you wanna have iron purpose, bro. You wanna be busy from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, bro. You gotta be a busy guy, and you can't fake it. No, you can't fake it. You can't fake it because she's gonna realize it. You know what I'm saying? These women are hyper sensitive, right? She can smell bullshit, right? And you don't want to be moved or centered. You don't want to be a moved or centered. So if she says things like, I'm going out with the girls on Friday night, you don't want to be asking questions like, oh, who are you going out with? Who's that guy you were talking to? You don't want to be that type of guy, bro. You don't want to do that. That's stupid. You know what I'm saying? That is just stupid, right? And her job, right? Her job is trying to lock you down. You know what I'm saying? Because you're always just in your own world. You're always in the present moment, right? And she's trying to lock you down. She's trying to make you commit to her. You know what I'm saying? You want her to fight for your time. Right? You want her to fight for your time because your time is valuable. And if you can show her that your time is valuable, it automatically shows that you're a valuable guy. Right? You ain't like the rest of the regular ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? That she filters out on her phone daily. Right? And you want her to wonder, where is this thing going? Right? If a chick asks you, where's this thing going, what are we? You know what I'm saying? What are we is the best question you can even have from a chick, right? Because then you know how it is invested. And you want a hand to be invested because the more you invest for anybody, when it comes, whether it's in financials, physically, at the gym, when you invest, right, there's a certain outcome you want. You know what I'm saying? Think about cryptos. When you take a lot of money, you put into cryptos, you want a lot of money back. You know what I'm saying? And you want her to be working for you, you know what I'm saying, the whole time, 24/7, because, you know what I'm saying, that's how you get obsessed, dog. That's the whole point of the video. But anyways, so yeah, guys, I actually, you know what I'm saying, I've actually a step-by-step process. I'm still busy typing the thing. I'm still working on it. But if you want, to get better at attracting women, right? DM me on Instagram at Rampa for real. You know what I'm saying? You're always gonna have to follow my account, right? And I will look and see, right? I'm gonna look and see if you are qualified. You know what I'm saying? I'll look and see if you're qualified, you know what I'm saying, to get the game that I have, because I have actually a step-by-step process how you can attract the love of your life. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be financially stable, you know what I'm saying, because this is very, very sacred information. Very, very sick information. This took me a lot of years of heartbreak and sorrow, and it cost me a lot of money because I had to read a lot of book on psychology and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of time. So I'm saving you a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna cost. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to work one on one with me, you know what I'm saying, one on one with me, DM me on Instagram, you know what I'm saying, I'll actually check if you're qualified or not, and work with you, you know what I'm saying, and trying to help you get women and attract women and love into your life. You know what I'm saying?